Hey, what up, everybody? It's your boy DT with another episode of the Commanders Draft Show. Look, the DT is the name. We talking defensive tackles. We talk about the big boys in the middle, what the Washington Commanders could be looking for potentially in this NFL draft circle. We also give you our top 3 Washington Commander prospects from this entire draft. It could be any position. And it's going to be a good show for you guys. And we're also going to have one more trade back mock for you guys to look at the very end of this video. So buckle up. It's your favorite crew on Sunday night. This is the Commanders Draft Podcast.
See, like this is
that was kind of embarrassing. That was kind
like,
of embarrassing.
I'm like this is what happens when you take a week off, right? Like you just forget everything. And I think you played it, and then I played it. Then I had to play it again because I was like, okay, let me do it.
So I had a hezzy.
Yeah.
I will give credit to DT. He stayed with it. You know, he kept smiling. He did it. He did a good job. Played it off.
Oh my goodness, that was too funny. Welcome back to another Commanders Draft Show. Chuck is in the building. What's good, Chuck? Cal DT on the fence. What is good? How you feeling on this good Sunday evening? We don't see Radar in there yet. Waiting on Smoke, right? He was on vacation all week, so I don't know what his time looks like. You know what I mean, so but before we move on, it's not breaking news. I guess I guess you could call it breaking news to us, because we're not insiders and we don't have but the Ruben Bain thing, it was reported today that Ruben Bain was cited for careless driving following a March 2024 crash that left the passenger in a coma and later resulted in a 22-year-old's death 3 months after the incident, as reported by Ali Connolly. The careless driving charge was dismissed by a court about 2 weeks before the death, and no criminal liability has been found in connection with the crash. The situation has been discussed in NFL circles in recent weeks, and teams are aware of it and have looked into it. So it doesn't, to me, just by reading this, obviously they're saying he's not the cause of it. Is that what you guys read? And another point is not like this is a bombshell. NFL teams, insiders have known this for months. But what they cannot do, right? What they cannot do is have another situation where the media and the mass perception is that the individual is the cause of the death, because we saw what that ended up last year. And it's kind of ironic that Jaden posted an Instagram photo of him today saying how much he missed him, this, and that, right? It's kind of like all that kind of makes sense now. Like maybe that's why that post came out. So we're going to start right to the vacation guy, right? Like you got to get back into it, right? Vacation time is over. Museum man, right? And it looks like he's frozen, so we might got to come back, right? So
it wasn't as bad as DT's freeze moment.
Oh yeah. You gotta watch the playback, Smoke. We didn't catch the beginning. That was something. But let's go right to you, Smoke. Like, bro, Smoke actually looks like he works for ESPN. That literally looks like an ESPN background. Let's cut the Smoke. He's in Pittsburgh. But what you think about the Bain situation?
The Bain, to be honest, I'm not caught up.
Yeah, I mean that's it, right? Like, okay. I mean, and it just dropped. Like he basically he was cited for careless driving following a March
Mhm.
2024 crash that left a passenger in a coma and later resulted in the death of a 22-year-old. Right? The careless driving charge was dismissed by a court 2 weeks before the death, and no criminal liability has been found in connection with the crash.
Man, what's up with these stories popping up a week or so before the draft every year with a top prospect, it seemed like.
Yeah.
Man, like, and I came in the room and I'm listening and I'm like, who are they talking about? And now you say Ruben Bain, man. Like, man, like, bro, I don't know where to start at, man. Like, because you know the dream you're chasing. This was just not even a month ago. And, you know, first prayers up to the person that, you know, have succumbed to injuries and, you know what I mean, and moved on and stuff like that, you know what I mean, to a higher realm. But man, like, I'm confused. I don't know why things like this come out every draft cycle, Deuce. I really don't, man.
And the NFL, the insiders and the teams have known this for months. Right? Like they've already known what happened. Like they've been sending their investigators and all this other stuff. Right. But like Cal, we just cannot have another situation where and that's probably was the thought process too, right? Because we have to be careful because we saw what happened when everyone believed that this young kid was the cause of someone dying, but it ended up not being the case at all. And that kid ended up taking his own life because of all of the pressure from social media.
Yeah, and I would also add that Jalen Carter had a similar situation happen to him, and we've heard Howie Roseman say he doesn't care what's on your record as long as you no domestic violence sort of issue, right? And so I think if you're good enough, it's not going to derail you overall. But the biggest thing is this happened in 2022. So there isn't a consistent theme with Ruben Bain. It's not like there's something's popping up every single year, right? Like bad things happen, mistakes happen. It's how you bounce back from them. And I think overall, what the teams are probably looking at is, did he chill out a little bit? Did he learn from this situation? And is this somebody that we can depend on from an organizational standpoint to say, can he be the face of our franchise and be our top pick? And I'm not sure if it overall will derail him. Even if it was a criminal sort of thing, I don't see this being something that would stop anybody from acquiring him, especially if he's learned from it. So given that it's just a citation, hold on, I'm getting a call. Hey, Jerry. Yeah, it just got leaked out today. Yeah. It doesn't look like he's fallen to 12, though. Okay, all right, bye.
That is absolutely diabolical.
Definitely Jerry Jones behind that. They did the same thing with Micah. So it's not the craziest thing in the world, but it's funny that it's just a citation that they're reporting on, right? Like it's not. And the one thing I would consider here is the family of the victim, right? Prayers up to the victim who lost her life tragically, which
Hold on,
terrible.
This happened in 2022?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
So
no, March of 24.
I thought that was the cool.
It
was 24.
Was involved in a fatal traffic collision in Miami.
Oh, it said March 24.
March 2024.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 years ago.
Yeah,
not 4 years ago. My bad. But 2 years ago. So there wasn't an ongoing theme, right? But the one thing is, if you were to ask the family, like, what do you think about Ruben Bain? Do you think that he should have his career possibly derailed because of this? And I'm not sure if they would go down that route. You'd have to talk to them. But ultimately, I think there's something here where you hate the sin, you don't hate the sinner, right? And that's sort of the thing here is I think Ruben Bain has learned from it. And obviously that he probably got asked about that 32 times leading up to this process, maybe even more. And so they would know a lot more than we would, right? And I would side with the teams doing their own investigation, talking to Ruben. And I'm sure that it was hard on Ruben himself. And I'm not trying to make him out to be the victim, but I would understand that if I was the cause of somebody losing their life, and if it was based on me and something I did, I would feel horrible, right? And I'm not necessarily going to sit here and say the dude should not be drafted. And I'm not sure if every other team is thinking that as well.
What you think, DT?
Well, the biggest thing I always think about this is I always think about how the player feels when things like this pop up to the public, not only to the teams that automatically are going to get the information way before we do, but from a national perspective, how they will be perceived. I mean, we've seen over the past couple of years, there's been ones that have not been as critical, like for example, Larry Tunzel. You know, the whole smoking incident, that video went circulated, and he was considered one of the top tackles. He fell all the way outside the top 10, and you know, considered like last year, a couple of years with some of the guys that have been hit with things like this. I just think for me, you know, as a person that really cares, I don't like when this stuff pop. I'd rather it pops up automatically when it happens,
Right.
than when someone's dream is literally on the cusp of actually happening. And then I always think about mental health. How does this person feel about that? I mean, some people will have their opinions and stuff, but we will never know how he actually feels about about this situation right here. You know, where he was involved at. And you know, the biggest thing for me is we just continue to just pray. I pray for Ruben Bain, regardless. I pray for everybody, and I think for him, this news is popping up at a time where you know your dream is literally next Thursday. You're going to be selected to your team, but you know potentially some people are going to look at you slightly different. Some people are having conversations like, "Well, is you're going to do this again? Well, is you're going to be a threat to the culture that we're trying to establish to a young team or a team that's trying to chase championships and win Super Bowl?" So that's the stuff that has a big cause and effect when we're around this time of the year.
Yeah, man, and it's a tough for this leak to come out, bro. The guy, I think his name was Connolly, I believe, reported it. I wonder how long has he been sitting on this, right? Like, has he been sitting on this, or just like you said? I mean, it's a cutthroat world, man. Like, if a team did do that just to try to get him to fall, like, and sometimes we joke about that, right? Oh yeah, we want him. He this like he got to do this or do that, but I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me for it to come out right now in a week from the a couple weeks from the draft, and it's and everybody and even Todd McShay quoted the guy Connolly, and he said the way this is being read is as if no one knew about it. He said yes, the teams knew about it, right? NFL insiders knew about it. Like, teams did their investigations on these things, right? So now it's like, why now? Like, it's a slow period, and this is the thing. Like, Smoke, when we talked about in all ones about, is journalism dead? Like, this is petty. Like, I mean, and just think about the family who actually lost someone.
Yeah.
Like, how do we know what part of the grieving process they were? Like, this could actually set them back.
Well, he put it in the story that he talked to the family at the end, and they basically, you know, say, you know, as far as Ruben Bain, they wish him the best in his continued life and success and things like. So it's like they're trying to move on. But my thing is mentally, right? With a Ruben Bain, knowing you were involved in a crash, knowing that someone, you know, passed away, and you played 2 seasons, knowing that, you know, you had this incident and stuff like that. And if I go back and look at the last 2 seasons, I don't think it waned on his mental. You know what I'm saying? He may be that mentally strong. You know what I mean? Some people you could kind of see it like, man, something ain't right with him, or this, that, and the third. But yeah, man, like, that's where I go with it on the mental side, man. Like, will there be a relapse? You know, if I'm a GM, I got to think about that. You know, rookie season may not get off to a good start. You was this promising figure coming in. Next thing you know, we just lost Rondale Moore, y'all. You know what I mean? For a guy that couldn't get on the field. Now, say, you know what I mean? Because say he don't have a good rookie season or whatever it is, we just don't know. So it's like we got to pray for both situations, Ruben Bain and I think it was the Betts family and stuff like that, man. And, you know, just continue to hold them tight. And if the family, you know, moved on from the situation, me as a spectator, I'm like, hey, I'm going to pray for you and I'm going to move on from the situation as well.
Yeah. It's a sad thing, man. And it's just the way this thing came out, man. It just, to me, it just seemed like ill intention. It just seems like ill intention to me, man. So we'll see how this plays out, because now it's going to be the talk, at least for the next few days, at least. And of course, it's probably going to come back up, especially like we don't even know when this Mike Green news going to drop, right? So now teams is like, do I want to take a chance? You know what I'm saying? Like, is something going to come back? Like, is this family going to come? Like, I don't know the statutes of limitations or anything, but he gets top 10 pick. He gets that bread. Are they going to come back and say, hey, look, I mean, it could be anything, bro. And that's just all the things. But the teams knew about this, so that's a good thing. So they sent their investigators. They talked to whoever it was they needed to talk to. So hopefully, like, whatever team takes them or whatever team don't want to take them, that, you know, they did the proper investigation. And it seems like he has no criminal charges from this or whatever the case may be. So, but it's a sad thing because it's on the internet, and, you know, people's going to twist stuff. They're going to start pulling stuff, and it's just going to get nasty from here. All right, let's shift this up a little bit. Let's go right back to you, Cal. Your top 3 prospects for the Commanders. Your top 3 prospects for the Commanders out the entire draft. Yeah,
my one is one that Smoke brought up, that he brought up on this show, that I absolutely loved after watching him and what he provided in Keontae Scott from Miami. I think that he fits the bill for everything that they want to do defensively. From the nickel back, the big nickel, so to speak, he can pick up in the run game and being a legitimate force, coming in, very aggressive, athletic, also can help on the boundary from a slot perspective. I think that this is the recipe for what Durante Jones wants to do. You can have somebody playing the nickel who is a legitimate force, aggressive force, coming out of your nickel, and that you could use on blitzes, that could come up and help in the run game, but can also help in coverage. I think Keontae Scott, yes, he's up there in age. Me as a 36-year-old man, it's crazy to say that. But I think this is somebody you can bring in day one, and that would, because they haven't done all that much to the secondary, right? Especially the corner room. I think this makes sense for me personally that they brought in Keontae Scott. I think he's somebody that could really help bring the identity of this defense to physical nature. That, you know, what is the term that they use? Arrive violently. Like, that's Keontae Scott. Mm-hmm. And when you watch any Miami defensive game, he is all over the freaking field, man. So credit to Smoke for bringing him up and showcasing him. I know he didn't pick him for his, but I'm going to have to, because I think he is that good. So credit to Smoke. And then the other one was Caden Curry from Ohio State. This kid is projected to be a late rounder, and I don't know how late. But when you watch Ohio State's defense, obviously Sonny, Caleb, Arvil all stand out. But Caden Curry is like that one dude, that the one ninja samurai that just goes under the wayside and just is effective in being a disruptor. You can line him up with the 0 tech, 2, 3 tech, 5 tech. He was all over the field for Ohio State. And we're talking about versatility. I think Caden Curry can help you out massively in a bunch of ways. And I think that's somebody you could slide in late round. If you don't go edge early, if you don't go DT early, this is somebody who could fill those needs of being an athletic specimen. He had some great sacks this year, was phenomenal against Indiana. I think this is somebody that can come into this defense, added with what they've already done defensively, and you can mix him in, and this is someone that's going to pay dividends for you. Obviously, he needs to bulk up a little bit if you're going to have him in the 0 tech in the National Football League, but he has the athleticism to move all over the line. And we're talking about positional versatility. That's definitely one of them. The other selection I included 4, of course, because I couldn't just leave it alone. But the other one I had was Trey Zune. Obviously, I had also Arvil Reese, but I think that's easy enough said with the positional versatility. but Trey Zune posted one of the best pass blocking percentages of all left tackles. And I remember him standing out against Patrick Payton in LSU. Very, very good with technique, staying low in his waist, having great bend, but also just having the footwork to stay with guys. Now, at the next level, it's going to be different for him playing tackle. But given that he has played tackle at Texas A&M, I think this is somebody who could slide in, that you can move in at center. If you have an emergency, if he doesn't win the job right away, you could slide him in at guard if you need to. But having that positional flexibility and having the pass blocking that he already has at tackle, obviously is a little bit different. But I think that he is structurally sound to the point where, and thick enough that you don't have to worry about anybody slipping through that line. I think this is somebody who's very structurally sound that you can plug in at center and would be a damn good competition with Allegretti and Coleman to play center. And we all want to add into the trenches. And that's why I think Trey Zune makes a heck of a lot of sense. I would have picked Logan Jones, but I do think that Trey Zune, just that pass blocking ability, I think just sets him over the top just a little bit more.
All right, what you got, DT?
All right, so my top 3 Commander prospects. Number 1, I have Carnell Tate, one of the polished route runners in this class. Coming from Ohio State, his ability to separate, make plays on the field. And, of course, we had guys like Chris Moore and just the sum of everybody else. You need to give Jaden Daniels a target on the outside with Terry McLaurin and eventually whoever else will come into that room. His ability to be smooth, route running, threat of deep ball, contested catch, gives some guys a little bit of size on the outside to go along with Traylon Burks, who's also 6'2". He's the guy that I would see as a Commander's guy. Already had multiple visits so far. Number 2 and 3 are going to be a little bit biased. Y'all always get on me for the Virginia boys, but I'm going to embrace my Virginia boys. I just did an article on Dalen Everett, the kid from Norfolk, Virginia, comes out of Georgia. He's physical long corner, got better every year. He took a little bit of a downside this year. His 24 tape was much better than 2025. I do think Georgia kind of put him in some weird situations, but you're talking about a kid that's a very competitive guy, played against SEC caliber wide receivers week in and week out. And from what everybody talks about him, he's the guy that always come up with the big play in the biggest moments of the game. You can see the Ole Miss in the Sugar Bowl with the fumble recovery. You can see him playing Texas multiple times, having an interception, strip sack. He's a guy that I believe that can be a long-term guy on the opposite of a Trey Amos and Mike Sanders, still even Meek Robinson, to add some guys to that secondary. And my number 3 guy is Bishop Fitzgerald. When we're talking about turnovers, and that's what Minnesota Vikings defense was doing. That's clearly what Durante Jones wants to bring to this defense. And for our team has been lacking, has been in the turnovers last 2 years. We need someone that can flip the field. I think we pretty much got a lot of guys that can play in the box, but we really don't have that guy that's instinctive enough to make risks and plays when the football's in the air. And Bishop Fitzgerald has been a guy that's had logged 16 interceptions throughout his college career, so he screens college production. And he also has the ability to play high, play low in the box, a little bit versatile, can play some nickel packages. And I think there's a guy that could fit what Durante Jones want to do. And he's also a guy that, if you look at, he has had much more visits than some of the top safeties we have already talked about, such as Caleb Downs. So clearly the Washington Commanders have strong interest in Bishop Fitzgerald.
Ball magnet.
That YouTube video has blinded our fan base, bro.
What YouTube video?
YouTube video.
That YouTube video, De'Ami Brown.
You take it easy.
That cinnamon.
Oh my God.
That movie has blinded the minds of our fan base.
You take it easy on D Brown.
See what I mean? See, and I think like Smoke started it. Like he came on radio. He said he hyped. He said it got him hyped. Right now, I put the thing out like we still need a wide receiver too. People like, nah, we got De'Ami.
Yo,
beyond me.
I ain't dead, Deuce. You know I ain't dead.
I'm just saying, bro.
And speaking as somebody,
on.
speaking for somebody that was very high on bringing De'Ami Brown in if you guys remember those spaces and me talking about who we needed to bring in free agency at wide receiver, and I said De'Ami in those ones, I was arguing with people about De'Ami. I'm going to sit here and say we still need to add into the cupboard. I will admit that.
It's just like we got Burks, we got De'Ami. They brought in Van Jefferson. Like we got Luke coming. I'm like, bro. Like I think like okay, so like I will be there if we leave out this draft and right we don't have a wide receiver or we draft somebody a little later, right? And I was like, all right, bet because okay, so I'm gonna start with you, Smoke, and I'm gonna come back to your three players, but I want to ask you guys this though, right? It's literally camp battles for 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah. And that's the way that they want it.
They ain't no down in the world, dog. That's why we still searching for a wide receiver.
Yeah, I said the other day, it's gonna be camp battles, but I can't have De'Ami and Van Jefferson on the roster.
Yeah, I don't see them on the roster.
One of the two. And it looks good that De'Ami out there, working with 5. Man, it's something about 5, bro. Like, bro, that's why I'm more so hyped, Deuce. It ain't about De'Ami.
You see him on the center?
Come on. Hey, listen. My man was like, I'm talking to my man yesterday, right? He like, but you ain't see what I saw. I say, what? The under center reps? Oh, man, you paying attention. I'm like, bro, it's something about 5. It's something about 5, man. The way that ball released off his hand, man. That's what I'm hype about. But nah, man. It is gonna be a competition at 3, 4, and 5. And right now, hey, they better upgrade too. That's just where I'm at with it. Just go and upgrade it. So yeah, man. I'm cool. Look
at like it can't have this. I don't care if there's an upgrade. Like it's not enough, right? And for it to be an upgrade. Like Kyle, you say you're 36. Like to have Kyle out there be an upgrade from what we had sometimes during last season, bro. Like just think about this. There was about 2-3 weeks where we had our top 4 receivers, like outside of Debo, and he was hurt. That none of those guys, like 2 of those guys, wasn't even at camp, and we were asking them to contribute as if they were at camp. Like, that's how bad it was. So, yes, this is absolutely an upgrade. But we need to upgrade this, like, immediately. Like, it's going to be a camp battle, absolutely, from go ahead, DT.
And see, this is why I kind of have been in the stance a little bit lately. Like, I would not be shocked if the Commanders double dip at either corner or wide receiver. Because – like, yeah, they do like Luke. I think Luke will be a little bit better in this offense as like a power slot. And we'll see a little bit more from Jalen Lane, outside of punt return. But you got 2 guys that's like, you got to look at the room also for the long term. And we all know the Terry conversation is going to pop up. And even you do get a Uke from San Francisco, it's likely going to be a 1-year deal. Are you going to give him another deal if he exceeds the numbers expectations of approve it? We don't know. So you always have to be prepared for the cornerback room and the wide receiver room, because those are the rooms that always get addressed year in and year out, regardless if you do have dudes.
And Doc Rivers is out as the Bucs head.
Oh, he out? Dang. 32 and 50.
Basketball guys.
32 and 50.
All right, Smoke. Who's your favorite 3 prospects for the Commanders?
Number 1, Uno.
Number 1, Uno is crazy.
Number 1, Uno is Mr. Love out of Notre Dame, Jeremiah. I've watched every carry of his career on Saturdays, live in the flesh. Every carry. He's my number 1, man. It's no need to even talk about him. Like, we all know why he's my number 1. If you don't like him, go check into a psych ward. I don't know what's going on here, but I think he'll bring instant elevation to the offense. He'll help Jaden out a lot more by having that dynamic weapon beside him, things of that nature. Man, Jeremiah Love, I can't even. I'm not even gonna gloat on him. My number two prospect is linebacker out of Pittsburgh, Kyle Lewis. We want to talk about, and this is around that 71 range. I'm starting to see things where he's going mid-second round on some of these later mocks and stuff like that. This is a guy I think that Durante Jones would love when we're talking about defensive versatility. I think he can check. I think he could play in the slot, like not every down, but he could take away. You know, what I mean, if a team want to put what they call a power slot in there, a bigger slot, he can stick with those guys. He's fast enough. He's straight downhill linebacker as well, coming off the edge. I absolutely love Kyle Lewis. Number three, looking for that inside-outside receiver, Skylar Bell out of UConn. I love him, man. But, Deuce, I'm not going to lie. We had an East-West Shrine Bowl visit with him and a pro day visit with Skylar Bell. The same with Kyle Lewis. Forgot to mention we met with him at the Senior Bowl. But after talking to and listening to Cyrus the Virus Allen yesterday, bro, like, it wasn't even me, like you know, I went in there, gave you a shout out just to basically let them know, like, man, no matter what happened, keep your head up, keep going, keep moving forward, you know what I mean, stuff like that. But hearing the questions that was being thrown at him, hearing that Louisiana twang, I wanted to get on the stage and say, bro, I don't know what's in that Louisiana water when it comes to these wide receivers, but man, if I had to build a receiver, I'm starting from Louisiana, and I'm gonna build everything else off of that, because it seemed like they put out legit wide receivers out of the state of Louisiana, man. So yeah, man, shout out to Cyrus Allen. We had a Zoom meeting with him, but yeah, so just to recap, Jeremiah Love, Kyle Lewis, Skylar Bell, Cyrus Allen. I had to throw him in there after yesterday.
Cyrus is my guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Isn't nasty stats came out about our potential slot corner, our boundary corner that they said is going to be in camp battling for both spots. Amik and Mikey gave up the most touchdowns. Well, Mikey gave up 8, and I think Mikey gave up 8, and I think Amik gave up 6 or 7, something like that. That was nasty. I can see them doubling up at corner. I can see them doubling up at wide receiver. This drive is really going to be interesting, man. Like I even to this point right now, I still don't even have an idea of what he's going to do, because he did a lot in free agency to really. Because after free agency, like we talked about that. After free agency, we'll have a better understanding of where we're going to go in the draft. But do we? Like I don't, right? Because if he don't go Love, all right, it's justified in a sense, right? If he don't go edge, it's justified in a sense, right? If he don't go wide receiver, that's that. I don't know how you justify that, other than that 20-minute YouTube video, right? But linebacker, you can justify it. Cornerback, they picked up a couple more guys. You could kind of justify it. Safety, you could kind of O-line, you could defense tackle, like all of those things can be justified, but I just don't know what they're going to do. What's up, Mitch? What's up, dog? So hey, we don't address wide receiver 2 and CB2. A crash out coming to a spaces near you. That Virgil kid from Texas Tech is nice. Also, great body control. I really don't know what this means. I'm so sorry. What does this comment go? Did you say something, Smoke? Like what?
I ain't saying nothing.
Like what does this comment mean? Like I don't even know what the comment means.
No lie, without no content, that's kind of a crazy comment.
Right? Like, are you watching 2 YouTubes? Maybe he's watching 2 channels or something. He gonna say know your history.
Know your history.
Know your history. Well, I know. Don't like me.
Hey, boy, I gotta wish my grandma happy birthday real quick. I'm on FaceTime with her. It's been a whole thing, but I'm just gonna mute and close my video. But I'll be right back.
All right, cool, man. Happy birthday, grandma. Like we're gonna start off with Radar too, bro. I don't know anything about this kid, but he does blackface for games, and he's already like Surface Pro black, and he does blackface on top of that. Like, what do you all know about this guy? Because Radar don't talk. Like, what do you know about this guy, bro? When I pulled this picture up, I was like, oh yeah, I need him.
Well, as an Ohio State fan, Caden McDonald, he was a ascending beast even in 2024 when we had Tyleik Williams and Ty Hamilton on the defensive line. Then comes in this year, plays the nose guard, and he literally dominates every single game this season. So he is a dog in a sense. He's still young and learning the position. You can play him at the 3 tech, you can play him at the nose. He's very versatile, and he has some pass rush moves that he's still working on, but he was at least had like 4 to 5 sacks this year coming from the nose tackle position. And you know that's very rare when you look at guys like Dexter Lawrence, who had like 9 for the New York Giants. So this is an ascending player at the nose tackle position. There are some conversations about him probably going in late first. There's some conversations about him being the only defensive tackle potentially going in the first round. So we'll see. But Caden McDonald is a dog on himself when you just look at the tape.
Yeah, I said he was the ugliest player in the draft. But the reason I said that, because one game I was watching, and this like mid third quarter, this dude came off the field.
Bro, when I Googled his pictures, I was like, who is this guy?
It was one game, bro. I'm watching it live, yo. I remember him.
Look how black he is, and he does blackface.
Yeah,
he does blackface while he's playing football. He was all black on his face.
Bro,
I want him on my team, bro. Go ahead, Smoke.
No, like it was one game I remember watching, and as they were going to commercial, he like took his helmet off, and I was just like, bro, who is this dude? Like, and my mom, listen, my mom has this thing of where she sees somebody on the darker side. She be like, I bet you they from South Carolina. I bet you they from South Carolina.
What? Yo, correlation is crazy.
Bro, where came McDonald from, yeah?
Oh, where is
figure that out?
I have to look it up.
If he from South Carolina, he fit.
Oh my gosh, bro.
He's from Texas.
Okay. Look like
he's from Tenarca. He's like in between Texas and Arkansas.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, bro. When I started looking him up, bro, I was like, yo, and he does blackface. Like, I can't, like, bro, he got some vicious pictures, bro. Like the images, he's just like a gorilla. Like he just like a gorilla, bro. Like this is a dude that like he just seems like he just doesn't care about nobody. Right, like he doesn't care about nobody. Like he'll continue to play with no helmet on. Like he just seems like one of those guys. And I absolutely have to go back and watch some of that tape, bro. I absolutely have to go back and watch some of that tape because you can't. I don't want to call it dude ugly, whatever. But like, bro, you can't like you have to be like dominant, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and because I mean, think about it, bro. All the people we've played with. When we played football, the dudes who wasn't as attractive, I guess that's a good word to say, they were like that. We had a dude we used to call. Did you know Big Mac went to spin gun?
No, I ain't no Big Mac. I ain't no
dude named Big Mac. and his face looked like a Big Mac. Like that's what it's like. His face looked like a burger. Like that's what but he was like that. Like he was like, bro, he was like 6'4", 2 something, played middle line, played running back. He could run, he could sideline to side, he played basketball, he did it all. But he was a street dude too, so like it was what it was. But they call him Mac because it's like his face looked like a burger, and he was like, bro. And usually when you have those type of dudes, bro, like they be like that, bro, because they just mad all the time. They just mad. It's Mac dudes in your hood named Crazy. Like every dude got a dude named Crazy. Like they just don't care about nothing. So I ain't saying that's him though. I'm just saying, like,
it's crazy.
I'm just saying, bro. He just looked like one of them dudes, man. I definitely gotta look at his tape, man, for sure. All right, his other guy is Grayson Halton. You got anything on him, DT?
Out of Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's pretty solid, man. I was gonna select him for this week, D tackles and stuff like that. Man, his tape is good, bro. He's violent. I like him. What do you know his measurables, DT?
If I'm not mistaken, I think he's 6'1", 290 or 295.
Yeah, I thought he was kind of undersized.
Yeah, he's very undersized.
Yeah, for that D tackle position. Just like somebody I got when I get to my guy. But yeah, man, I like his film, man. I really do. Bookmaster been screaming about him since like the combine. Like the day the combine started, he like Grayson Halton. Yeah, like yeah. So it made me look at him a lot more after hearing about him and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Say, let me really dive into him, and I really like his film, man.
All right, let's go to you, DT. Let's get your guys in.
All right, first guy I want to start off with is Brandon Cleveland. Brandon Cleveland played at NC State. When I was watching guys like Caden Forham and Devon Marshall, he was the other guy that popped out on tape. 6'2", 320 pounds. He was originally recruited as a defensive end. Then he shifted to defensive tackle, gained 50 pounds his sophomore season. And, you know, with the NC State team, they play a 3-3-5 defense. So he's going to be the nose automatically, and he's very stout against the run. He's not there as a pass rusher, of course, because he really has one role, and that's clog up the middle. But his 2024 tape was much better in terms of pass rush. Oh my God!
Hey, DT, I will say I watched a little bit on him today. They actually had him at edge at defensive end too. They would some plays, not every play, but to your point, I do think that he's somebody that could be versatile, especially with his weight flexibility. I think that he's definitely somebody that can move around. He was a disruptor, man. I liked what I saw from him. He has good hand usage.
Yeah. My comp to him, I don't know if you guys remember it. Do you guys remember Chris Neal? Used to play for us?
Neal. Used to play for us?
Yeah, Chris Neal.
Mm-mm.
2011, white boy, 95. He reminded me of Chris Neal.
Okay. The only one I remember, Adam Carricker.
Yeah, I remember him.
Did you already go over my guys?
No, we haven't one of you guys.
Dre, that we look at Dre. We did wide receivers a couple episodes ago. We did talk about Omar Cooper Jr. So just go in the videos, in the lives, and see the wide receivers, and you can pull them up from there.
Okay, next guy.
Yeah.
The next guy I have is Aaron Hall from Duke. He was on that star-studded defensive line.
Bro, I put in Aaron Hall and the singer came.
Dude gonna start singing. Dude gonna start singing in the locker room.
Oh my God.
The singer came. I was like, oh, I remember him. Big R. Kelly dude.
That came up on Google. I had to type in NFL draft.
I don't know. Unc tripping today, bro. He called Mikey and Amy Pearl Harbor crew. Like, Bro, I don't know what's going on with bro.
I thought he was calling us the Pearl Harbor crew.
No, he's calling Mikey and Amy. He put in the chat. He's calling them the Pearl Harbor crew. Like, I have absolutely no idea what that means. My bad.
He said, learn your history.
Yeah, right. Like, what I know about Pearl Harbor. Why are you calling us the Pearl Harbor crew? Like, bro, it's 9:23. You got real radio in the morning.
All right. Aaron Hall, his father played defensive line at the University of Utah for the 90s. He was a 3-star recruit. He also got recruited from Virginia Tech, but he decided to stay in Durham. He played alongside defensive line with Wesley Williams, who we looked at, and also Vincent Anthony on that defensive line. He's a very versatile defensive tackle. He could play in the 3-4 end and also play the 3 technique. That's the reason why I value his versatility. He's very explosive in the run game, and he offers some pass rush moves. Last 2 years, he had at least 8 sacks combined. So this is a guy, I don't think he'll probably get drafted, maybe in the 7th round, but this is a guy you can probably pick up as an undrafted free agent, and you can put him alongside for depth.
All right, let's go to your guy, Smokey.
All right, okay. I'm gonna start off with the guy up top. Undersized D tackle. I'll give a negative right there. Undersized D tackle, Zane Durant. 6'1", 290. If you watch the combine, this guy clocked in on the screen at a 4.76, but he actually ran a 4.75 for D tackle. He had a 1.66 10-yard split, 33.5 vert, 9.4 broad jump. Here we go. Adam Peters love RAS. 9.28 on the RAS. Has a quick first step. 71 career pressures coming from the D tackle spot. Strong lower body and uses his hands very well. He improved his missed tackle rate in 2025. When I go back and look at 24, he had a couple of like run stuffs he should have had, but it was like the linebackers was cleaning up. And that was the team with Abdul Carter. That 24 film, to me, is what's going to get him drafted this year. If I understand the missed tackles and stuff like that, but that 24 film is very good to look at for Zane Durant, man. And that defense, at one point this season, it seemed like Penn State as a whole checked out. You know what I mean? The quarterback get injured, coach get fired, things of that nature. They came in as like the number 3 team in the nation, number 2, number 3 team in the nation. It just didn't pan out that way. So I went back and looked at a lot of 24 film with Zane Durant. I did not know he was that athletic when it comes to, the 40s and stuff like that. But yeah, man, that's somebody I'm looking at right there. And in that 3rd round range, some people got him going 2nd. I got him going like more 3rd roundish and stuff like that. So that all depends.
Well, he started out at Penn State as a linebacker. Then he transitioned to.
I did not know that.
How much weight did he gain?
He probably almost. He had to gain a lot of weight.
Dude, seriously,
40,
that's crazy.
He started out as a linebacker.
I did not know that. That's what's up.
And then he had 25 tackles this year, 4 sacks, and an interception.
Yeah.
Productive.
Yep. So, yeah, appreciate that. My next one, Big Lee Hunter. I think he's the best 0/1 tech in this draft, bro. If you look at the RAS score, you're going to be like, nah, Adam Peters ain't going to do it. Nah, it was only a 4.12. But this dude is a stuffer, bro. Good first step off the line of scrimmage, 6'3", 318. Don't even really want to go through his 40 time. He ran a 5.18, but he's a transfer kid from UCF. I'm sorry, from down there in Florida. His 2023 UCF film, I was directed to go look at that, and it was solid. Somebody told me it was elite. It was. I came away and said it was solid. It was solid. I like what he did with that pro talent around him this year with Romello Heights and David Bailey. You got Rodriguez behind him and stuff like that. But Lee Hunter, he was a force. Even in the Texas Tech and Oregon playoff game, Texas Tech defense came to play. Their offense just, poo-pooed the bed. And Lee Hunter was sticking out that whole playoff game and stuff like that, man. So, yeah, I would love, if we go into a 3-man front, I would love to get a Lee Hunter in the middle of that defense, but he a guy that's going late first, early second, if you ask me. But guess what? They say trade backs are possible. So we trade back, we gather a second. This is a guy that I'm really looking at, the man in the middle of that defense. So,
yeah, but Lee Hunter, very productive, 41 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. He's the guy that you're going to have to, I think Henderson could coach up with him because when he does fire low out of his stance, he's getting penetration back there, like especially one-on-one. I wanted to watch him against Sam Hecht. Sam Hecht did a pretty good job against him at Kansas State. There was some times where he got, turned over and everything, but if you're able to get him with that low pad level, teach that into him on every play basis, Lee Hunter's going to be a very, very good professional.
Yeah, he had a 17.5% win rate and the 11.9% run stop rate. So just some numbers out there for you.
Yeah.
So when it comes to this Texas Tech defense, which one of these guys is who they are because of the other guy? Because we got at least 4 guys that can go round 1 and 2.
I'm gonna say this.
One of them is still in college.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe one is getting the film is good this year. I have a thing with like what I consider late bloomers. I think if I took Romello Height, David Bailey, Lee Hunter, Jacob Rodriguez, the last person I said, I think got the furthest to go to prove himself in this league.
I agree with that. He doesn't have like the crazy good measurables. The one thing about Jacob Rodriguez that he's just one of those football players that has a nose for the ball. Like his peanut punch is a legitimate thing. Like he forced a crazy amount of fumbles this year. I think that's where his game is really going to be predicated on if he's able to get there. But he's not I wouldn't say like an ultimate. As soon as you plug him in, he's going to flash, right? Like I think that it's something you're going to have to work into your point, Smoke.
Yeah. Yeah. So to answer your question, Deuce, it's hard, bro. Like
that's a tough question, man.
Because some people all of a sudden David Bailey isn't a good run defender.
Right.
But that defense was solid this year, bro. That offense was putting up points to where midway through the second quarter, a team got to pass the rest of the game. So it's hard to say that a guy isn't a good, run tackler, run defender, where he wasn't really forced to do that play in and play out. That's why he led the nation in sacks this year. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say, man. But I think all 4 of them are good pros. All 4 of them go, before the 3rd round is over. And to answer it, I'll say Romello Height. Romello Height got his production because David Bailey was on one side, Lee Hunter was in the middle. That's just where I'm at with.
Now, right. I can agree to that because he does have talent, but he's bounced around a lot. He's like a college football free agent. He started out at Auburn, went to USC, went to Georgia Tech, and he went to Texas Tech, and that defensive line that they assemble all the money and stuff, it was just gaudy, and he was able to, have his way. I do think he's still a good player, but I also think Bailey is a little bit further along due to his age. He's younger. Romello will be about 24, 25 come draft time. So I think the ceiling is much, much higher with a David Bailey than a Romello Height. Romello Height can come in and still play, but I don't think you're expecting what David Bailey could potentially be and project to be.
Agree with that. What's wrong, Deuce?
Ollie Connolly taking a lot of heat. He said he even misspelled the kid name. All right, let's go, Kyle. Hey, where's Brock? Is Brock out there? Brock talked all that trash. He came on the show Thursday. I'm gonna be there. Where he at? Well, go ahead.
Yeah.
He's in the shadows.
It was 44 touchdowns for Surratt. Yeah, I know.
He's in the shadows of the radar. My two disruptors at DT. First one being Landon Robinson. Smoke talked about Zane Durant being undersized. I think Landon Robinson is definitely in that category. Sitting at 5'11", 293 pounds. This season, he had 64 tackles, 6.5 sacks, and 1 fumble recovery. But this is a dude that plays with fantastic fundamentals. Every time he flies off the ball, he's coming in low pad level, great strength, and he's knocking somebody back. He was a difference maker on that Navy defensive line. I thought that he did a very good job, and he has violent hands, excuse me, at being able to clear himself. And I think this is somebody that later on in the draft that is going to be a spark. And what I mean by that is not overlooked a lot, but he has some quickness to him and catching up from sideline to sideline. I think this is somebody who's going to take advantage of their opportunity. And coming from Navy, having to work for what he's got, he was the star of that defense. The linebackers are fantastic, of course. But in the middle of that field, every offense was wondering where Landon Robinson is. And given with just looking at his measurables, you're going to say this isn't a complete dominating type of defensive tackle. But this is somebody that teams had to game plan for and to get out of the way. The year before with Army and Navy, I think Landon Robinson actually caught a fake punt that turned the game around. This year, Army had stacked up 5 guys to defend him on punts because of it. Now, this is somebody that really takes the eyes away from the offense. And I think that going to the next level, I think Landon Robinson is going to be one of those that just finds a way to stay in the league, work his butt off. He has the hand usage, the violent hands to be able to keep himself clean. Needs to bulk up just a little bit more, of course. But if he keeps those fundamentals firing low out of his stance, I think he's going to be very productive at the next level. And then my boy, Big Citrus. I've been talking about him for months, ever since I saw him sitting at 6'2", 322 pounds. He actually has some of the longest arms of the DT group that we had highlighted here with 33 and 3/8-inch arms. His production isn't all that great. He doesn't have the sack totals that others have. He had 18 tackles this season. But his defense really put him at a disadvantage. Correct me if I'm wrong. They ran like a 3-2-6 or something like that. It was insane. So he was constantly being doubled. He was getting chipped, and he was facing triples. And one thing I will say about him, when he does have one-on-one, he is getting in the backfield. I saw him almost bend a guard in half backwards by getting his hands underneath on the chest pad and bending him backwards and being able to help stop a run. This is somebody, the one thing that you could say is he's slower than others. So when he's trying to track somebody, it's not going to happen. But I will say this, he is going to stuff the middle of the field. And he is somebody that it's going to be hard to move him out of the way, especially with that arm length, being able to extend those arms, stand up the block, and clog the middle of the field. There was a couple 3rd-and-1s that he was able to stop completely because of that arm length, because of his ability to not be moved. And I think that Dominic Orange, if you're talking about like a Tim Settle backup, somebody you could bring into a rotation to bulk up those trenches, I think Dominic Orange is a fantastic asset. The big question is, where is he going to fall? The consensus on Pro Football Sport Network has him going, I think, around the 70s. I do think it's going to be north of that because of the kind of niche position that he plays, being nose. But I think at the next level, he's not going to be seeing constantly double teams. He's not going to be seeing those triples. They're going to get him those one-on-one opportunities. I think Dominic Orange could be one of those sleepers in this class that really, really is productive as an NFL professional. Yep. Aaron Donald vibes. The way, just given with his makeup. I'm not saying that he's going to be Aaron Donald, but I'm just saying with Landon Robinson's style of his makeup, it's crazy how quick and everything that he is and how good he is against offensive linemen who do outweigh him. And I will say this, I didn't see anybody getting cut blocked as much as I saw Landon Robinson in the film that I watched. He was getting cut blocked constantly.
I actually do have a question. Actually, two. Because with this new scheme, I don't know if you guys have saw in the past, there was a post about how the defensive line for a Flores system, how they operate with the defensive line. And you look at the defense line we currently have right now, and we have Eric Henderson who worked with a Aaron Donald, work with an undersized guy. Do y'all think they would revise the defensive line scheme to have someone that can be the pass rusher from the defensive tackle position? Or do y'all think they're still going to try to follow suit with what typically worked over there in Minnesota? Because I feel as though that these defensive tackles in this class, they have the athletic ability to get after the quarterback. And as much as we talk about getting an edge rusher, we all know for the past couple of years that interior pressure is starting to have the same weight as an edge rush pressure. And we've seen in the past 2 Super Bowls. And I think for me, we already know where we're at with Deron Payne, the $28 million cap. And then you got to look to next year eventually to find another guy. I think there could be another guy that we could have in that rotation to get the numbers. And I know Johnny Newton is also a guy that we're still trying to figure out. We're still trying to figure out, what his role is. We don't know if he's going to be 4-1 in the defensive line room or what. But I think for me, I'm very interested in these smaller defensive tackles as well, like a Durant, a Landon Robinson, because you have a Henderson who has a history of working with defensive linemen, can get the most out of them.
Yep.
No, I feel you. I look at every defense, like effective defenses, it's going to be people that make sacrifices. If I looked at a Brian Flores defense, or maybe DT, do tackles generally create pressures, create those sacks, things of that nature? I think he simulates a lot of pressure to simulate one-on-ones. And if I'm a D tackle and I got a one-on-one, my job is to win. My job is to beat this guy one-on-one. I'm not getting double teamed and stuff like that. So I think it all depends on how Durante wants to simulate pressure and things of that nature. You know what I mean? It's easy to double team D tackles, stuff like that. But if you mucking up gaps and you stunting off of that, if I'm that D tackle that's coming in free one-on-one, I gotta win. And that's the job right there. Just win, baby. Just win.
Sure.
And with Landon Robinson, one thing, when I was playing defensive line, one thing I was taught is if you are doubled, you stick your knee in the dirt and you stop them from moving you. You create that log jam, right? And that's one thing Landon Robinson does very well. These other DTs, they typically do stand high and they do get blocked in those doubles and they try to do their best at it. But I think Landon Robinson was one of the best at being able to stick his knee in the dirt and just not be movable in that sort of sense. So I to your point, DT, I think he fits that bill because they want to be able to get after the passer, right? They want to clog those run lanes. And the best way for a DT to be able to clog a run lane is by sticking his knee in the dirt with those chips, especially coming from the interior. So I do think that we do have to be cautious about changing everything to Durante's mindset, right? We just want to be able to get good guys in here that they can be able to produce because we don't know how long Durante is going to be here based on if he does a very good job. Like it could be as early as next season that he could be getting looked at, right? And so just get the best player available, make this thing work, and we'll deal with that. We'll cross that bridge when it comes.
It's true.
I used to hate playing 3 tech, bro, and in my sophomore year when we had to do get down on the knee, do that knee drop. I used to hate that, bro, because they'd just lay on you.
Yep.
Most of them they just lay on you. I used to hate doing that joint, bro.
Hold on, I may be tripping, but I could swear I'm a little older than everybody on the panel. You know, shout out to them. But I could have swear they told me, B, when they double you, just lay on the ground.
Yeah, just take a knee. That's what it is, a knee. You just kind of take both of them.
Yeah, I never really understood that though. Like, I'm trying to fight. I'm trying to win. And next thing you know, when I tried to fight, I tried to win. I'm clipping up a linebacker because I'm getting pushed back right. 5 yards. You know what I mean? So it registered. You know what I mean? I saw it on film, and I'm like, oh, okay. I see what they say. But it took me a while. I'm talking about I didn't see that on film until my 12th grade year. I learned that part of if you're getting double teamed, just lay down. That was 7, 8 years old. So you know what I mean? I never really understood it until I got to like 12th grade and stuff like that.
I was like, forget that, bro. I lost weight. I came in for senior year. I was like, I'm playing linebacker. I ain't doing that no more.
So Smoke, what they would say is put your knee down, and then take your hand and go between them and stick your hand out, because if the refs saw your hand sticking out, they would automatically figure you were getting held.
Held, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't doing that because I absolutely was not doing that. But I used to hate that, bro. It's like take a knee, they just lay on you, man. And it because like pancakes was huge back then. Like everybody wanted a pancake, you know what I mean? And I used to hate that, bro.
I hated cut blocks. I hated cut blocks.
Oh yeah, cut blocks. But I the fun thing about playing edge and cut blocks is when they dive out there, a lot of them ain't do it right. You just put your knee right in the back of their helmet. I used to love that part. I used to love that part.
Hey, Mitch, who was making all the tackles, Mitch? My fault on the comment. I want to know who was making all the tackles if he's sitting there helping up the D tackles. You weren't making the tackles and helping the D tackles, right? So who was making all the tackles, Mitch? Yeah, I
know. He's still up. Look at him. These pretty boys transfer.
They all know about it.
Cal treat these pretty boys. Go to bed, yeah.
They already know about it. Come on.
All right. Cal tried to cheat early and send a trade where he made two trades. But Mock, he sent 2 trades, sent that back. Nope. Roger Goodell not taking it, not approved. But here is the draft. Cal, you want to walk us through it?
Yeah, absolutely. I will say this: the cheating mock that I did, I got an extra pick at 115, and that I was able to say, all right, with my 7th rounder, I'm going to make Deuce happy and take a kicker in the 7th. And then so when he shot that down, I said, okay, must not like kickers that much. So I redid it. And this one was with Tampa, trading back, obviously, got 46 out of it. Caleb Downs, for some reason, fell there. I'm guessing it's because of the knee. But if we look at what Durante Jones, I think we've talked about this before, where he does like multiple safety sets. Obviously, they brought in Nick Cross. Obviously, we have Will Harris, Jeremy Reeves, Quan, and others. But adding somebody like Caleb Downs in here who can take away tight ends, help in the run game, and you can more so be and using him and utilizing him as more so of a linebacker in certain sets, and you can have that safety rotation. I think adding Caleb Downs here is just another piece for this defense, especially in the secondary that was one of the worst against the pass last season, is going to help you out a lot. And this is somebody that's going to, from a leadership standpoint, I would imagine the Commanders are giving him the Commander Gold label because he fits the leadership, he fits the production, and he's going to come in and do everything that you want to do the right way. I've heard that he was one of the last ones in the building at times in study halls and everything. That's the right character makeup you want out of your first-round pick. And you are so happy if your trade back to 15 and Caleb Downs is somehow still there. Regardless of the knee, we have enough in the safety room that even if that was a thing, you would feel comfortable with going down that route. I've already talked here about Keontae Scott. I think they gave me like a B- for this pick, which is crazy to me because this was the consensus. So this is all of them morphed into one. PFF, PFCSN. Keontae Scott, I think, adding him and Caleb Downs is a home run in my personal opinion.
Yeah, you're C+.
Yeah, a C+. This is going to make your defense legitimate attackers. And this is going to, given with what you've added on the defensive line, this is going to open up a lot of things for you, especially in the passing game where Keontae and Caleb can help lock down that middle nickel of the field. And with the safeties you have added already, you're just adding more weapons into the arsenal here. And I think Keontae Scott, from an attacking standpoint, would absolutely be coming in here and making a name for himself. And then after that, Bryce Lance, because we talked about wide receiver 2, right? And obviously Carnell Tate went before 7. I had to trade back. And so looking at it, Mekhi Lemon was gone. I think Jordan Tyson was gone as well. But with Bryce Lance being 6'3", over 200 pounds, showcasing his deep downfield ability, I think that he gives you the wide receiver 2 makeup that you're looking for. And he has that big body, big catchability. This is somewhere where you're adding starters at the top 3 picks at 15, 46, and 71. This is a shoe-in for me. I've already talked about Trey Zune with the pass blocking ability, adding him in here.
Before you go any further with Bryce Lance, he's been catching a lot of steam over the last few days. I don't know if you all, I mean, of course, Kyle, you just talked. I don't know if you all had a chance to look at him, but he's been getting a lot of steam over these last couple of days, and it kind of started with David. David had him over Tate and Tyson, which was interesting. So I was like, wait a second, like, who is this kid? Like, let me go watch him. And it could just be a, you know, I'm changing stuff up, right? I need something else to talk about, trying to switch the conversation over. I mean, it could be that too, but just for him to put them there, I'm like, oh yeah, now Kyle, you drafted. I'm like, oh yeah, let me go look at him, because he's somebody that could absolutely sneak in and end up being that pick if it ever comes to this. So
and they've kind of shown the blueprint of what they want at a wide receiver too. They want you to be over 6 feet. You got to have a deep ball ability, be able to catch the football. And Bryce Lance, I think, was one of the best in the nation at contested catches or deep field stuff. I think he was up there with Carnell Tate, if I'm not mistaken. If you look at all those stats, if somebody has them available, that'd be fantastic. And I think that he also fits into this as a consolation prize. I think you're feeling very, very good with Bryce Lance at 71 with the other guys gone. Trey Zune coming in, competing for the starting center job. I've already talked about what he did at tackle. I think at center, it's a shoe-in fit. Talked about Caden Curry as well. The next one, Eli Heidenreich, Heiden Fifth Reich.
Now, is he a tight end or a wide receiver?
He is a wide receiver. He's a wide receiver. Did DT hear what I said? Is that why?
No, I just said it. Swiss Army knife.
Yes. So Navy used him everywhere. Like, they would bring him in as a running back at times on passing routes, but he was Navy's offense. Like, very much so. Everything went through him. And when you see him go against Army, if you can go back and watch the Army game, he is an absolute weapon, dude. A bigger type of guy, and he can be utilized all over the field. If you imagine Christian McCaffrey type of receiver, that's what you're looking at with Eli Heidenreich. I think that he kind of fits with both avenues of using in the backfield, that kind of Deebo Samuel end around type of role. I think you're adding more weapons into the room, and we all want more and more weapons for Jaden Daniels. I think Eli Heidenreich would do very well, and he'd honestly push Luke McCaffrey to progress just a little bit more in that kind of slot area. And that's where I think Eli would probably really benefit the most in navigating the middle of the field, a yak type of guy. I loved that selection. And then Caden Barnett, I'm pretty sure we met with him or we have a visit with him. DT, am I mistaken about that?
I can pull it up in a second.
I think I posted about it. I think Justin Rogers from the Draft Network sent it to me. Let me check.
I just did my thing today. Pretty sure I had him up here.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we met with him at his pro day. This is somebody who had a 505 40, 31-inch vertical, 463 short shuttle, a 765 3-cone at 315 pounds. Big dude, and I think that he could bring him in here. If you're talking about being able to stack the trenches, we don't know what's going to happen with Sam Cosmi down the line. Adding more beef into the trenches is going to help this football team in the long run, especially in the offensively. Given we don't really know what's going to go on. Chris Paul signed a 1-year deal. I think adding more weight down there is going to be beneficial for everybody involved. And in the 7th round, I think that's a home run.
To answer Mitch's question, he didn't get an invite to the Senior Bowl. He was at the East-West Shrine game. But coming into the season, he was on the top 300 watch list to go to the Senior Bowl. So.
Yeah. They also went to his pro day, and they also hosted him for the local pro day. So they met with him 3 times already.
Yep. Mm-hmm. They just had their local one, like a couple of days ago, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Hey, man. What we got? One more show?
2 or 3? 2 or 3.
Hold on. The draft is after next.
Oh, yeah. The draft next week.
The draft? Jeez. Yeah. It's like we got one more show.
So we got 2 more.
Oh, and we got doing a recap.
One next week in the recap.
Okay. All right.
Sheesh, the drive is here. It's
Yeah.
so much more coming out from Albert Briss said, teams. Well, we already knew that, but he was like, it was a lawsuit associated with the case too that's settled in Miami.
Oh, okay.
There's more and more stuff coming out. But yeah, man, we got 2 more shows left. Got next week and then the week after for the recap. But yeah, the draft is next week. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what's next week? We doing the mock together?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's insane, man. All right, man. We better get up out of here. Cal, what you got this week?
No, we got a Burgundy Zone. We're going to be live tomorrow with another show. Got a couple guests lined up. It's going to be fantastic. I appreciate y'all for hanging tough with me while I wish my grandmother happy birthday. She's deaf, and trying to get her on a FaceTime call is incredibly difficult. I've been trying to get her on all day, and obviously it wasn't until 9 o'clock is when she actually called me. So I appreciate you guys for allowing me to step away to do that. I really appreciate it. So check out the Burgundy Zone. We got a new episode tomorrow night. And it's going to go over the draft as we are inching more and more close.
DT, what you got this week?
We're going to be doing our defensive playmakers this week on the Ins and Out of DT podcast. And stay tuned for Enters the Lab podcast. I was knocked out Thursday. That's why I was not up there. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I was knocked out. Yeah, I know.
I might be a little bit late next week. Just giving you all a heads up. My brother's getting married, going on a little trip.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he had to get married far away. So I'm going to try to make it back for the show on Sunday.
Bet. Smoke, what you got?
Can I give a message to the Washington Commanders?
Oh, no.
Listen, I got this jersey on Christmas. I understand Wednesday coming up. We about to get a new thread of jerseys. I'm tired of getting jersey after jersey. Just get it right. That's all I ask. Wednesday, just get it right. I don't care what you do, just get it right. That's all I ask. But this week, man, catch me on Riddle Radio. What is it, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday? Yeah, man, catch me there, 8 a.m. You know what I mean? So, yeah, appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. That's about it. Everybody get up out of here. Appreciate y'all for tapping through. We know your time is very valuable. Thank you for spending it with us. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.